Hi, Marco here from Soreno Water. I'm here to go over this beautiful Glacier Fresh RO for under cabinet installation, the Glacier Fresh U03. I'll unbox it, show you everything we have inside, and go over some features and benefits that make this product the best in the market. Now the product comes packed very well. Everything's needed for installation comes in the box. So we have the unit itself, which is here. And in here we have all of the components that are needed for installation in the accessory box. Now, in the box comes, most importantly, the RO faucet itself, all the tubing required for installation. Smartly, they send a couple different size options for the supply water. So if you have 3/8 compression, or if you have a 1/2 inch supply, there's two options. You'll choose which one you need. There's a push fitting for the faucet itself. And then there's also a drain saddle that's already been installed here just to save some time. And that's a simple piece there, which connects to our red tubing. And aside from the accessories, we have the unit itself. So here we have an encased RO, which means we don't have to worry about a tank. The unit itself comes ready to go with the filters inside. So a very compact unit, which makes it easier to install, doesn't take up a lot of space under the cabinet. And the filters are behind this nice magnetic plate, which makes it very easy to access the filters in the future and to change them as needed. Perfect. So for this encased unit, which is different than conventional ROs, all the filters are ready to go in place. Now they come out with a simple lever. There's no canister or dripping filters that you'll need to ever worry about. And they're labeled very easily 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 is a polypropylene and a carbon filter, which takes out sediment and chlorine. Then you have the RO membrane, which does the bulk of the work, taking out everything you don't want in your water. And then the third filter is a carbon filter for taste and odor to improve the quality of the water one last time on the way out. Now this unit doesn't need power, so there's no plug needed underneath. It's a lot quieter than a conventional RO, and there's no storage tank. The water will flow right through here. There's a small storage inside, but not much, which is a lot better than those bigger storage tanks that take up room under cabinets, which also include a risk of contamination as water sits for a long time. This doesn't have that, and it also makes it a lot easier to install. So to install this unit, it's really only 5 steps. The first step will be to install your T to your supply. Then you're going to install the faucet. Then you'll install the drain saddle, and then click in all the tubings, and then connect the tubing into the unit, turn on the supply, and then just flush the system for 20 minutes and you're done. So in about 5 steps, which should be about 15 to 20 minutes, this unit will be installed and ready to start. Okay, step 1, we're just going to shut off the cold water supply, remove the hose that's going to the faucet, and then add in our retrofit T that fits. So away we go, water shut off. Before doing that, I'll just drain the water from the hose. Perfect. And then now, with just an adjustable wrench or anything, you'll just loosen this a little bit. Tighten that up as far as it goes, and then give it a quarter turn with the wrench. Do the same with our supply to the faucet, and then we'll get our tubing in there. For the supply tubing, we'll select the white one. And then afterwards, we'll cut the length to fit properly in the cabinet. Just put the nut over the white tubing, push the tubing in place until you get resistance at the back. Tighten till tight, and then just use a wrench to give an extra turn or two. And then of course afterwards we'll be testing for leaks. Very good. Now on to the second step. You'll need a drill and a 3/8 drill bit. I've already drilled our hole here where we've located the most convenient spot, but you'll just be drilling a hole through the countertop or using an existing hole for the soap dispenser. 3/8 of an inch, maybe slightly more, 7/16, and that'll be enough size to get the faucet in there. Make sure you're putting it in a way where the faucet obviously will be going forwards to be used. So it fits nicely in my hole. There we are. And then we're using a gasket. This will go on top. So this will go first, this will go below, and then this will thread upwards to hold into the countertop. And then you just turn it, tighten the threads. The faucet is in place. It will turn a little bit. It might move, but that's normal. But it's not going anywhere. It can't be pulled out. That's all that matters. And then the John Guest push fitting here. You'll get your push fitting, and it will just click upwards to connect to the bottom of the faucet. They're the same on both sides, so that doesn't matter. This will go up to the faucet and click in, and then afterwards, the blue tubing will click into the bottom side. So under the sink is where you'll feel or be able to see your piece. Push it upwards, and then when done correctly, if you pull downwards, it cannot release. So it's securely in place, and now we're ready to use the blue tubing. So very simply, this piece will just click right upwards, which makes install very easy. So that's pushed up as hard as it can go. Do a pull test, can't come down. And now that part's complete. Now the third step, I've already drilled a small hole. You'll get a 1/4 inch drill bit, which matches the red tubing. You'll drill a hole just through one side of the drain pipe, and then put your drain saddle around and tighten it to align the hole. Okay, so the drain saddle's already in place with the 1/4 inch hole with the drill, just through one side of the piping. Always a good idea to drill through the top of the pipe, not the side, not the bottom, just to prevent any flow going backwards up through the hose, because this will just stick into the pipe a little bit by about 1/2 inch. Perfect, and that's not coming out. There we are. So that's ready to go. Now we can simply put in our unit, cut these to size just to avoid having excess just dangling in here. It'll click in the right spots in the unit, which I'll show you, and then you're ready to turn on the supply and test. Now when pulling out your ports, they're labeled for drink, drain, and feed. Feed water is white, the drain will be red, and the drinking will be for blue. I'll give myself a little bit of extra room to work with, but I'll cut off about a couple feet. And that will push into our drink. Do a pull test to make sure it's not going out anywhere. Same thing goes for drain. Don't be afraid to push down hard. Can't hurt it. It's in, can't come out. Double check the blue. And then I'll do the same for my feed. Push it in until it bottoms out. Give it a pull test, it's not going anywhere. And now we're all set. Now that the unit's installed and operating, you'll want to just turn the faucet on and just have it drain for about 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes to allow the filters to flush out. Once that's done, then you're ready to start enjoying some pure water. So now that we've tested the system, checked for leaks, had it run for about 20 minutes to flush out the filters, I'd like to do a little test. This is a TDS meter for total dissolved solids. So it will tell me the parts per million of dissolved solid material that's in water. So I'm gonna use the tap water first, just to compare. So this is what's coming into supply. So 121 parts per million for our tap water, which actually from a municipal supply point of view, that's quite good for city water. But now this water is coming through our Glacier Fresh U03 filter, and we'll see the difference. We have a TDS of only 9 parts per million. So a great reduction. So all that's left would be a few essential minerals, some calcium, magnesium that our body needs, but all other pollutants and sediment, potential bacteria, pesticides, all removed. So here you have it. The Glacier Fresh U03 RO system from Soreno Water does an exceptional job of removing impurities in our home water. Installs quickly, 15 to 20 minutes, plus some extra time to purge the system once you run it. And with no time at all, you can have fresh water for yourself, your customers, or for your business.